Hey, welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let's make sure we're going. I see we're on YouTube. Are we on Rumble? Yeah, we are indeed. Actually, Rumble is several seconds faster than YouTube. What's up with that? What is up with that? Anyway, let's get to it. This is a Friday. It is a Fact Check Friday. What is today? The 5th. Oh, my goodness. Does that mean tomorrow is the anniversary of the worst day in American history? Perhaps. I don't know what we should do. Probably stay home. Stay safe, right? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's get to the main thing that I wanted to talk about today. If I can scroll, get to my script. Here we are. All right. And let's see if I can turn it so I can actually see it. Nope, apparently not. Anyway, welcome everyone. Hashtag Rumble Gang. Hashtag Better on Rumble. Hashtag Fact Check Friday. We're doing all that. Doing all of that. And let's see. Here we go. Good. We're set. I hope you have a cup of coffee. Today is January 5th. It's a Friday. It's a Fact Check Friday. I got too many mice. Too many mice in front of me. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. We're at the socials at Coffee and Nuance. If I were on top of things, I would have tweeted out a link to this show, but I think we're going to be going live on X starting very soon. So we won't even have to bother with that. But we are streaming live on YouTube and on Rumble. Rumble.com/coffeenuance live. Just bookmark it. All right, enough of that. Let us get to what we are talking about today. Let's dive into the whole stealth editing fiasco, shall we? In the media. Picture this. Picture this. You're reading an article, nodding along, and then suddenly, it's as if someone edited reality overnight. Stealth editing is like trying to hide an elephant in a room full of mice. It's not fooling anyone. Here's the deal. If a media outlet or conglomerate or association is sneaking in changes without a heads up, what else are they slipping past us? Trust becomes as flimsy as a house of cards. In a hurricane. Yeah. Why should we stand for this? If they're treating the truth like it's a customizable option, they're playing a dangerous game. Pin the tail on the facts. And sorry, but zero credibility doesn't look good on anyone. Mock and dismiss them? Absolutely. If you're playing fast and loose with the truth, we reserve the right to wave goodbye and send them on a one-way trip to Irrelevancyville. Man, I can't believe I said it. Irrelevancyville. Yes. We need news sources that stand by their words, not ones that edit reality like they're fixing a botched painting. So, to all the stealth editors out there, here's a reality check. If you're going to mess with the truth, expect us to wave goodbye without a second thought. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, the best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Okay, here we are. Talking about the Associated Press. I should have had that up during the monologue, but the AP cannot be trusted. Oh no. They cannot be trusted. Here's the story. So the Associated Press, they face criticism for their coverage of Claudine Gay's resignation as Harvard's president January 2nd. I know it's been a couple of days, but it gives us a little perspective. We can see what's going on. Initially, focusing on Christopher Rufo's tweet celebrating Gay's resignation with a phrase that referenced scalping. Okay. So the AP later amended its article to acknowledge that scalping was practiced across cultures, not solely by white colonists. What? What? Is that what it said? Rufo mocked the AP for altering its coverage and continued to criticize Gay for defending anti-Semitic protests, questioning her qualifications and Harvard's commitment to merit over race. So let's get into the details of this, shall we? Let's see if I can pull this up. You know, this whole week and last week has been, I've been very busy. A lot of people take holidays this time of year, and so I've been doing extra classes. So I actually taught a class this morning where I raced across town, just made my coffee, and was able to go live. But I'd been in my house for about 10 minutes prior to going live, so didn't quite get everything set. But yes, let's look at this article. So you heard that Claudine Gay was fired, or resigned. I guess resigned, right? To be fair. Why can I not get this up? That's what. Okay. No. Kidding me. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Okay. Okay, so the AP, and we're going to get to a conspiracy theory. We're going to fact check a conspiracy theory about the Associated Press. Do the Rothchilds own them? Well, we'll get to that. But here is the original article that that they put up. All right, let's see if I can. Okay, here it is. Computer is just a tad slow today. You can load. You can load. So anyway, this is in the Wayback Machine, which is a very helpful thing to have. What it does is it takes a snapshot of particular websites at a particular time, and you can actually ask it, hey, can you save this article? So we've got an archive of this. As you know, I leave a link to the archived versions of every single story that I talk about in the comments of the video. So afterwards, if you want to go double check my work, you can go and you can read the article that I'm coming from. But here, this is the original article. Yeah, Harvard's president resignation highlights new conservative weapon against colleges, plagiarism. Now, this is not an opinion piece. This is actually from the AP, which is interesting because it sounds like an opinion piece. Apparently, we're not getting a good stream. I have been working on that, and hopefully Monday I will be streaming in a new fashion that should have better results. So it's always something, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, the first sentence here is, the downfall of Harvard's president has elevated the threat of unearthing plagiarism, cardinal sin in academia, as a possible new weapon in conservative attacks on higher education. So rather than talking about how she's a big fraud, and, you know, plagiarized seemingly every single thing she's ever done, maybe even including her resignation letter. No. The AP decided to concentrate on who was critical of her. There's a term for that, right? But it says here the plagiarism allegations came not from her academic peers, but from her political foes, led by conservatives who sought to oust Gay and put her career under intense scrutiny in hopes of finding a fatal flaw. Her detractors charged that Gay, who has a PhD in government, was a professor at Harvard and Stanford and headed Harvard's largest division before being promoted, got the top job part because she's a black woman. Well, I think anyone that has half a brain would probably agree with that. But Christopher Rufo, a conservative activist who helped orchestrate the effort, celebrated her departure as a win in his campaign against elite institutions and higher elevation. On X, formerly Twitter, he wrote "scalped," as if Gay was a trophy of violence, invoking a gruesome practice taken up by white colonists who sought to eradicate Native Americans. That's right. The AP is saying that scalping was done by white colonists who sought to eradicate Native Americans. Now, this is interesting because it kind of goes against, I don't know, history. That scalping was done here in North America prior to anybody with my pigmentation setting foot on this land. But somehow the AP decided to just kind of rewrite history, and this is the original one that was saved in the Wayback Machine, that says that scalping was something that white colonists did because they're, bad racists. They're bad racists. And, wow. But then they went back and just changed it. So let me see if I can get a let's see. Just pulling up the tweet here. Or the X. What do we call them? Tweets? Posts? We haven't come up with a name for that yet. Man. I have done something wrong because it is slow. I should be moving just to make sure that I'm actually still visible. I'm getting all kinds of errors on my end, and I can't even seem to pull up Twitter. Not a good sign. Well, so here you can see what I'm seeing. Still loading. Still loading. So here's the screenshot from the new one. How do I frickin' shut this? Hang on. How do I close this? I have no idea what... Stop! Okay. Well, my computer is not working, but I can read it to you. I can't get it to show on screen, apparently. Anyway, they changed it, and then they now say, on X, formerly Twitter, he wrote "scalped" as if Gay was a trophy of violence. I think it should be "were a trophy of violence," but I'm getting pop-ups. What is happening here? I guess there's a new Epstein file drop, and I don't know, the internet has lost its mind. Anyway, it says on X, formerly Twitter, he wrote, "Scalped as if gay was a trophy of violence, invoking a gruesome practice taken up by white colonists who sought to eradicate Native Americans and used by some tribes against their enemies." So they added that. So can I actually get that on? Yeah. So they added that to the article without any attribution whatsoever that they did that. They just changed it. They just changed it without showing any of the work, and that is. I'm sorry, folks. I can't do two things at once. I'm really bad at that, and if something's not working, I just get really flustered. So I apologize. Stealth editing. The issue that it's a problem is you could read something on a website. You tell somebody about it, they go and they read the same article, they've changed the article, but they didn't even mention that they changed it. That's lying. That's straight up lying. You can't do that. This is done by the Associated Press. They have not issued any kind of retraction. They've been criticized for what they did here, and they still haven't indicated on the website that they made any changes to the original article. It's not hard to do. You put a little note at the bottom, says, "Oh, previous version of this article didn't include this." No big deal. But you're being transparent. You're being honest with your audience. And the Associated Press is not being honest with their audience at all. I think that this is enough of a reason that we can write off the Associated Press. In fact, if someone tells you something, you say, "Oh, where'd you hear that?" And they say, "Oh, Associated Press." You mean the place that just changes things without even mentioning that they changed it? They just stealth edit articles without even noting it? That's who your incredible source is? Yeah. I think that this is enough. And I've been saying in the past that I need to put together a list of bad media organizations and have like a laundry list of examples of how bad they are. I think that this one instance is enough that you can write off the AP forever if they're not going to correct this. If they decide, no, we intend to edit our things without telling you that we've edited it, if that is their new policy, we should just write them off. They are no longer a news source, and it's tough. The Associated Press is in every single local news. Every single local newspaper uses the Associated Press. And this is what they do. Yeah. So anyway, let me know what you think of that. As it is a Fact Check Friday, we got a fact check about the Associated Press. And yes, I'm going to come to the defense of the AP in this one case. So let's get to that. So, we got a claim here. Let's look at this meme we got on the thing. I could only find a meme that had a red X through it, but I guess that's a good policy, as if something is fake news and you're going to post it on your website. Maybe, put an X on it just to show that it's BS. Right? Anyway, the claim suggests that the Rothschild family owns Reuters and the Associated Press. Okay? Not true. Okay. It's just not true. Reuters is owned by the Woodbridge Company, not the Rothschilds, and the AP is a not-for-profit, but it looks like somebody's getting paid. A cooperative. It's owned by American newspapers and broadcast members. So the Rothschilds' family impact on European banking history is significant. Oh, yeah. But there's no evidence linking them to these news agencies. So this misinformation has been circulating for at least a decade. And it's been debunked many, many times. The Woodbridge Company, controlled by the Thompson family, owns Reuters, while AP remains independent, and is owned by American News cooperative members. The claim lacks any support with evidence or reports from Rothchilds and Company. And so that's it. And the Rothschilds have also denied it. So that's what we're looking at. If you hear somebody talking about, you know, the Rothschilds, they run the AP and Reuters, they run all the media. Well, they might have their hand in some things, but there's no evidence that they own the AP. There's no evidence that they own Reuters. It's very believable, though. You hear a claim like that, you go, well, that makes sense. That makes sense based on the fact that no one seems to write anything critical of the Rothschilds, am I right? Seems like they have their hand in some kind of media, but there's no evidence that they own the AP or Reuters. So keep that in mind when you're talking with people. If they bring that up, just know that that's not true. However, that doesn't mean that they don't have a lot of influence, right? So anyway, that is our fact check for the day, Fact Check Friday. But we've had some Epstein document dumps, and I want to talk about that and some of the coverage around it. So let's check that out. Okay, so here's the story. Unsealed court documents pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein's case reveal names like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, though neither is accused of wrongdoing per se. Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit alleges sexual encounters orchestrated by Ghislaine Maxwell. Prominent figures are named, but being mentioned doesn't imply legal liability. Details about Clinton and Trump's connections to Epstein are clarified in the documents. In all, Clinton's name appeared 73 times in the documents unsealed Wednesday. Trump's name appeared 4 times. So here's something to keep in mind with these really disingenuous, lying media people that kind of equate Trump to Clinton in this Epstein thing. Again, I'm not a super fan of Trump. I like the fact that people hate him. And typically the people that hate him seem to have lost their mind, in my opinion. But I'm not a super fan or anything. But let's look at let's see. Here we go. This is Trump from the documents here. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In New Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? Not that I can remember. All right. Boom, boom, boom. We can pull up and we can search some of the documents here. So yeah, let's just take a look. And I think these are the documents. There's some documents, whether they're, but I did a search and we got 4 here. On this page here it says, and you said you can recall landing in Atlantic City. Did you go into Atlantic City? Yes. Went to one of Trump's casinos. Trump was mentioned there. Someone went to one of his casinos. Okay, well, what was the next instance? Jeffrey said, great, we'll call up Trump and we'll go to, I don't recall the name of the casino, but we'll go to the casino. Okay, so he's apparently flying into Atlantic City, and he says, oh, we'll call Trump and, maybe get, whatever. Who knows? It says, Did they ask you to engage in, I guess, old school whoopee, right? And you refused? Objection, no. Marvin Minsky, I don't know that. George Lucas, no. Donald Trump, no. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. Okay. That's it. That's all Trump was mentioned in this entire thing. That's it. There's nothing there. Like I say, I think Bill Clinton was mentioned 73 times, including saying that he likes the girls young. I don't think that's the same as saying, well, we went to Trump's casino. But these totally disingenuous, lying media pundits like Brianna Joy Reid on Rising, she just equivocates. It just makes it all equivalent. Oh, yeah, Trump is in there and Clinton's in there. Trump's in the documents. Trump's in the document. They're not the same. They're nowhere near the same. Nowhere near the same. Like I said, 73 times Bill Clinton, and talking about it, the person says, yeah, Bill Clinton, he likes the girls young. Versus, did you ever see Donald Trump? No. Not even close to being the same. So what can you do with a media organization or a pundit that pretends like those are the same? They're either lying or they're dumb. Should we be listening to liars? I don't think so. Should we be listening to dumb people? I don't think so. Now, I don't think that these people are dumb. So they're either lying or they're dumb. Either way, we shouldn't be listening to them about anything if they're doing that. So this is yet another example of when you find, and you can look for these articles yourself, when you just see, like I did here, I put them in the same picture. Now, I didn't make that graphic. I just pulled it off the article that about this release. But that just tells you the media company or pundit is saying that somehow these are equivalent. They're dumb or they're lying. In either case, we probably shouldn't be listening to them at all. Yeah. Anyway, I got some more news if anybody uses Facebook. So, oh man, I don't know. Gotta move over here because I can't even see. Facebook's introduced a tool called Link History that catalogs and saves the websites users visit within the platform for up to 30 days. I'm sure they don't keep a copy of it. No. This feature is marketed as a way to help users revisit recently clicked links. However, enabling it allows Facebook to use this information for advertising purposes across its platforms like Instagram. While it can be turned off in settings, data collection might take up to 90 days to be cleared from Facebook servers, they say. The tool keeps tracks of links clicked within Facebook's mobile browser, which retains users within the app and enhances tracking capabilities. So do you want Facebook to be able to track you even better? Install it on your phone and be sure to click links on it because it tracks everything. Now, I won't buy a phone if it has Facebook installed on it. Won't even do it because I feel like I can't get it off, right? So I don't really use Facebook. I have a Facebook account just because I got it 20 years ago or whenever they started. I've turned it to private, and I don't know that I've logged in a year. But I use it just to check in occasionally with some old friends, but I don't really use it. But don't have it on your phone. They're tracking everything you do. Unless you're into that. Maybe you like that. Maybe you like being tracked across all the apps. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. But that's me. That's me. Anyway, now while this is just on Facebook, you don't think they're going to add this to Instagram? Or maybe they've already added it to Instagram and they just haven't told you yet. Or maybe they're just experimenting with it on Instagram. Yeah, I would say only use Facebook from a web browser, but, you know, that's me. What do you think? And does anyone still use Facebook? Let me know in the comments. And next up, we got to talk about the so-called Justice Department. So the Justice Department filed a lawsuit against Texas due to its implementation of SB 4, a new immigration law allowing state and local authorities to arrest and prosecute migrants who may have entered the U.S. illegally. The Biden administration has warned Texas to halt enforcement, emphasizing that immigration matters fall under federal jurisdiction. Texas officials argue that SB 4 addresses illegal immigration influx amid perceived federal inaction. The clash reflects differing views on immigration enforcement between the state and federal government amidst a surge in daily border crossings. Now, when I started this channel, I really thought I would try to be, fair on both sides and be nuanced and, I am not. I don't understand this immigration thing. I think this last year we had over 3 million illegal people coming in illegally to the United States. I don't know how you function as a country if you can't control who enters your country. That's kind of the definition of a country, right? I don't understand it, and honestly, I am against anyone that's in favor of mass immigration that's unchecked. Most of the people coming across the border are young men. They're not coming across with their families mostly. It's young men. There are lots of good people, obviously, right? But there's a lot of problems as well. I don't think that we're running such a debt. We're what, 30 trillion in the hole? How can we provide services to just everyone that wants to come to the U.S.? 3 million in the last year. I did see a stat that says we have more people entering the United States and staying net than babies born. That's for the first time, at least in my lifetime. More people are entering illegally than people are being born in this country. How's that going to play out? What's that going to be like in 10 years? I don't understand it. Unless, you don't want to think that people are trying to destroy the country. You don't want to think that, right? Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, acts like a duck. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. I've never run into a single person that's like, yeah, just let millions and millions and millions of... Let everybody come to the U.S. Let everybody come. Everybody. How's that work? I would like if we could have, like universal health care for all the taxes that are paid. The least we should be able to get is be able to see a doctor for a reasonable price. All right, I'm not even saying free, but maybe on some kind of sliding scale. How are we going to get that when you just add millions and millions and millions of people? It's not happening. It appears that somebody wants to destroy the country. That's what it appears to me. If you have any other idea, let me know. But I haven't heard any other explanation for it. Yeah, that's all I got. But we need some good news. Damn it, we need some good news. So here's an idea. What if you can just buy a solution? So here we go. This is a Chris and Doug Tompkins, affluent from their business success, donated $345 million worth of land in South America to Chile and Argentina, creating huge national parks and conserving millions of acres for at least 99 years. They didn't stop at returning the land. They focused on saving endangered species and reintroducing some, like macaws and anteaters, through Tompkins Conservation. This exceptional act contrasts with many wealthy individuals' lack of contribution to environmental causes, illustrating the potential impact of the ultra-rich if they directed their resources and cared more. Chris Tompkins termed their action a strategic use of private wealth to protect nature and global economic pressures. So this is the kicker that they did. They bought the land, and then they gave it to those countries as a nature reserve. So they're no longer holding on to that. It's not like they're buying foreign land, because you could buy foreign property hoping that you can sell it for more in the future. So as an investment, that's something that a lot of really wealthy people can do. They didn't do that. They bought the land and then donated it to those countries as a nature reserve. Man, that's putting your money where your mouth is. If you care about the environment, like so many of these billionaires claim to, rather than lecturing all of us about what we should be doing, this couple actually did something. You know, don't just fly around on your private jet telling me that I can't have a plastic straw, that I need a soggy paper straw while you're flying around in your private jet. No, they did something. Is Bill Gates buying hundreds of millions of acres of land and donating it to other countries as a reserve? He's not doing that, no. But this couple did. And I think that is an example of what could be done if people don't just pretend to care, if they actually do. That's the challenge to billionaires. What are you actually doing? Instead of what you're saying. So I think that this is good news. I think it's a great example of what could be done. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments on both Rumble and on YouTube. As a reminder, I will be back tonight, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, midnight on the East Coast, Midnight Americano. It's the late night hang. It's the late night Friday hang. Hope you all can join me for that. But anyway, I will see you in the after show. And yeah, have a good one. Let's see if I can. Come on, mouse. Peace. Yeah, here we are. What's up, Lucid, Natasha, Apothecary John? Yeah, hurry up, I'm having a coffee nuance withdrawal. I was too. I was too. Sangria and avocado here. Very nice. That sounds like a good Friday afternoon. Cheers to that. Cool kids always leave a like on the stream. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah. Leave a like on the stream. I appreciate that. Clear. Okay. So, Brianna, who, what, from where? Brianna Joy Gray. She's on The Rising, on the Hills, The Rising. It's amazing. I like watching the program because for whatever reason, I like seeing how she can come up with the worst take and be wrong on nearly every single thing. It is impossible for her to have a correct take on anything. And there's something very interesting about her. It takes a while to figure out what she's doing. But yeah, it's like, Tom, why do you watch people that get everything wrong? Well, I would have to know someone that I can watch that gets things right, you know? That's the issue. And one of the things is some of the people that I like that do a really good job, they have these really long programs, and I don't want to watch hours a day of someone to get a good take, right? They may have good takes, but their shows are so long, it's often tough to participate. The Rising, The Hills, The Rising show, each segment is like less than 10 minutes, and it's a one topic. And so I like that format. You can get a story, you can get a hot take on it, you can get maybe two different sides of a story in 10 minutes. That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of what I like. We need more immigrants to come here and take out loans to uphold our economy. At least that's how it was explained to me, probably in PragerU video. I don't think so. Immigrants are here to prepare to pull off an October 7th on our country. Well, I would say probably not the people from Latin America, but if you took a plane to get here, right? There's so many people that are crossing that are from the Middle East, that are from Africa. They're taking a plane to Mexico and then coming up. Not good. Not good. I saw Brianna, heard her word salad, dismissed it, don't care for her whiny co-host either. I kind of like the co-host, although he is he could be a bit stronger. But it's one of those things that for appearances, right? You can't have somebody super strong going up against someone else. It's so hard to even talk about this stuff. You couldn't have a super alpha male that was very concise and could explain to this person how wrong they are, because it would be a really bad look if every day you were pointing out how dumb they were and how wrong they were. It's just a really bad look, especially if the other person is a woman, especially if the other person's a black woman, especially if the other person is a small black woman. It's just a really bad look. So you kind of need, for appearance's sake, kind of a wishy-washy co-host. That's just my take. I don't know. Scalping Nazis like the movie Inglourious Bastards. Yeah. Sneaky news edits. It sounds like the mentions are basically the prosecutor fishing unsuccessfully linked to Trump. Yeah, no, the prosecutor was just mentioned Trump. But the whole point is not that they mentioned Trump. I mean, I don't even really care about this Epstein stuff because this whole thing, if you want to get into it on a big picture thing, it would be censored, right? It would be demonetized. It would be hidden. Like if you really wanted to get into the details of it, you really can't do it on social media. So that's why one of the reasons I don't even like talking about it. But the reason that I brought up this story was so that when you are seeing articles or stories about the Epstein thing, and then they mention Trump and they mention Clinton, there's a huge difference, because in Trump, all they did was just ask something about Trump, and it was no, no, no. And then there was like a whole bunch of references to Clinton, and a lot of it was really creepy and gross. Not the same. And so I just wanted you to be aware of that. So when you see these articles and you see pictures of Bill Clinton next to Trump or whatever, or you hear people talking about this and say, oh yeah, Trump was in there. It's like, no. I mean, technically, right? This is one of those things that like, well, technically his name was in the 800, 900 page document. It was in there 4 times. Was there anything in there that meant anything? No, there was nothing. People hate Facebook, but lots of people love Instagram. They have the same back end. There's just different branding and user interface. Yeah, it's tough. I don't even know. I feel like I should probably at least check Facebook sometimes just so I can see like family members, you know, posts of pictures of their kids and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not big on doing things on my phone. I like a big screen. Too old. I hate putting on glasses all the time to read my phone. So, anyway. I don't think Americans want to actually destroy the country. Dem believe it will eventually help them in voting. I think you could have said that a while ago, but not now. They don't understand Hispanic voting is much more nuanced than by race or country. I don't think that it is... I think that maybe years ago it could have been, yeah, they talked about the browning of America and that new people that come to the U.S. will be voting Democrat. I think that was a theory. That was actually a strategy. Of course, if you were to talk about it, you know, they'd call you racist or something, right? Was it the Great Replacement Theory? It's not a replacement theory. There's actually... Democrats have been talking about that for a long time. I should know, because I was a Democrat, right? But at this point, when you have, like I say, millions of people coming in, I think on the, you know, this Texas border, like they're getting 10,000 people crossing a day. 10,000 people crossing a day. And it's not Mexicans, right? You go through and it's just a bunch of people from the Middle East, a bunch of people from Africa. Often, American culture has a lot more in common, right, with Mexican culture. Very similar. In fact, every time I've gone to Mexico, I feel at home. To me, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. Culturally, we're very, very similar. Compare that to Africa and the Middle East, very different. Very different. These people coming in from those parts of the world often don't share our kind of our values that are consistent with American values. You know, so I don't think that it is just to do better politically. I think that there's something more nefarious going on. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Apothecary John says, I can't do any proper work on my phone. Need a full desktop. I do too. I need a full desktop for everything. That's why I got, these are 27-inch screens. That's what I need. So anyway, but that's my take on it. And again, I don't understand what's going on. I really don't get what's happening with the border. That's it. I don't have anything else to add. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But I know that the people crossing now, like this last year, it's like 10 times what it was like just a few years ago. It's an insane amount. It's an insane amount. And a lot of these things you can't, you know, there's a bit of a lag, and so you don't realize how bad it is until it's that bad, and then it's too late. It's kind of like what happened here in Portland where, you know, our state decriminalized all the drugs. And if it were just people that were here, that would be one thing, right? If it were just if nobody then moved to Portland, if it were just the same people that were here, and it's like, okay, we're going to decriminalize drugs, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. The problem is this became a magnet. This is the only big city in America that you could just do drugs and camp out on the street and camp out in parks and just shoot up on the street and they won't do anything. And so what happened is it became a magnet for the entire country. So a lot of addicts that were choosing to live on the street, they were like, well, why would I stay here when I'm getting hassled if I can just go to Portland? And I hear they're giving out tents, and I can just set it up downtown, or I can set it up on the waterfront where there's, you know, $1 million views. I can just set up a tent there, and I can shoot up and smoke whatever. That's why it didn't work. That's why decriminalization didn't work. If the entire country were decriminalized, it might work. It does not work when only one place does it. Because what it does is it has drawn addicts from all over the country. And in the same way, and yes, I'm comparing it, parallel. In the same way, the U.S. has become a magnet for the entire third world. You can go to the U.S., make money, send home. And they'll just let you do it. They'll just let you do it. So, but it became too late here, right? Portland's dead. It's done. It's done. The city's done. People didn't realize how bad it was going to get until it was too late. And I think that the same thing is happening with immigration. But that's my take on it. That's all I got. Anyway, I hope to see you all tonight. Midnight Americano, midnight on the East Coast. I will be here for another show. Hope to see you. And I'm working on all kinds of new stuff, so hopefully we'll have a better stream on Monday. Like I say, and this weekend I am experimenting. So if you see something flash up and it says like test video or something, you can click on it if you want, but it's just me testing out some equipment and whatnot this weekend. I'm going to do some test streams for all the new stuff that I'm doing. But I don't know how to turn off. Like, it won't let me not tell you, you know? Like, I want to do a test stream, but I think it'll just, like, alert everyone. I don't want that to happen, but apparently I can't do it privately. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see y'all tonight. Have a beautiful day. Until then, peace.